Welcome to CEO Interviews, a production of Agoracom, in which we take the time to speak with small cap executives to catch up on what's happening at their companies. With us today, happy to have her back, Joanne Freeze, President and CEO of Zali Gold, trades on the TSX Venture under the stock symbol XGC. For those of you new to the story, the company's flagship gold project is its Elodo project. It's a prolific high-grade gold-silver epithermal vein system. We'll talk about what that means. But the numbers is what you need to know about. 8 million ounces of gold equivalent has been produced from only 2 of over 50 known veins historically. So it's a district scale gold project. It covers 20 veins and more than 50 with more than 50. The project covers 20 veins with past production and more than 57 veins in total. So that breakdown of that 8 million ounces of gold equivalent is actually 6.4 million ounces of gold and 74 million ounces of silver produced from just 2 of those veins. It's unbelievable. To support that project, the company has initiated a really great strategy where they've got a tailings processing plant that they've optioned out to Sun River Gold. We'll talk about that and what they can expect to get that from as well. Plus 3 projects that are near surface exploration potential and near-term production potential to also contribute in order to get Elodo to its maximum potential. Joanne, welcome back.
Thanks very much, George. I think you've just done all my work for me. That's great. Thank you.
Well, if I did, I stumbled through that a little bit because the great thing is you got a lot of moving parts here. There's so many companies in the resource space that are one-trick ponies, right? Just George Gold has this one gold project and it's ride or die with it. But you've got this great project where you've got Elodo and then supporting satellites, I almost call it, where they can be economical, but at the same time contribute to making Elodo advance to its full potential. Let's talk first about Elodo, since that's the flagship. What's its status right now?
Well, we've done a 3D model in Leapfrog to help us better understand the controls to the high grade. We had an area we drilled some years ago that had 30 grams gold over 1.9 meters, and then 1 gram over 75 meters in the overlying volcanics, and then several veins underneath. So a vertical, if you can imagine something where you do one drill hole and it's actually intersecting several veins at once.
Right.
I guess my hands don't show that well with this screen.
Oh yeah, no, it happens to all of us.
You get the idea. So we intersected several veins that have high grades, gold and silver, up to, including, I already mentioned the gold, but 372 grams silver. And so we knew there was, although the veins are northwesterly, there's a northeasterly control, and we know it's somewhat vertical in this particular area. So a little bit tricky to understand in a 3D dimension, and we really needed a 3D model, and we finally got that built. And it's on our website, so you can take a tour from your home. Of the project and understand what we're seeing now. So what we did previously is we drilled all our holes perpendicular to the vein, which is a normal thing to do. Your vein is northwesterly, we drilled all our holes northeasterly, but not knowing that there's this control that's also northeasterly, meaning you drill parallel to it, you don't intersect it. So now we want to come back and drill obliquely that we can intersect the high grade controls.
And you've identified targets going forward?
Yes, exactly. Yes. And
ballpark, what are those? What's the amount of drilling for those targets, and when might you start?
Yeah, it should be $1 to $2 million to get going there. To get back into and it's called the Esperanza Mexico border area. Yeah.
And that's not a lot. The great thing is with $1 or $2 million. Given the drill targets you have, do you think you can extract a great amount of information, or is it going to be really incremental?
No, the idea is to make it a major discovery like Mag Silver made with Juanicipio. And once you've made that discovery and proven that you have these high grades in this kind of a system, and really it's called a stacked boiling system. So the old miners took out mineralization ore over approximately 200 meters vertical. And our previous drilling shows that the gold and silver doesn't stop at 200 meters. It goes a lot deeper. But now what we need to do is get a nice high-grade pocket of it so that we can, get the market interested and excited for that.
And if you're successful, you don't have to, this is not a capital intensive. Some projects that are really capital intensive, you need tens, hundreds of millions of dollars in order to start producing from them. But if your theories are correct, you don't have to raise a ton of money, pardon the pun,
Well,
in order to start.
put it this way, we'll just copy Mag Silver, and when we do need to raise lots of money, our share price will be a lot higher than it is today.
And that's a great advantage. I gotta tell you, that's a fantastic advantage.
Yeah.
In order to make that happen, there's two ways companies do that. One is you go into the open market to raise money in private placement, but you've gone through this. Instead, you've gone another way, which is this, again, I'm going to call it satellites kind of strategy, where you've got different projects that are contributing, funds to you. So let's talk about what makes the most sense to talk about first is the Elodo tailings reprocessing plant, because that's most related to Elodo. You option that out to Sunriver Gold, and they've raised $6.5 million to initiate reprocessing. So how's that coming along?
It's coming along very well now. It took a while, and what happened is it wasn't easy to figure out how to get the gold out of the old tailings. So they are experts, 4 engineers, in that. So we optioned it to them. They paid us $500,000 over the last 3 years. So we had a bit of income, and now they've just raised $6.5 million to put it in production. So they figured out the technology for extracting the gold and silver, and now have managed to raise the money to build the reprocessing plant. And they should be in operation by the end of March, and if not, certainly by the end of June. They were to have been in operation by the end of October, a couple days ago, in order to earn in, but we gave them a 6-month extension. They're giving us some payments for that. And that extension goes to March 31st. And then if they aren't in production by then we'll start getting some monthly payments towards the NPI. So what we now have is a 5% NPI on that. So that's 5% of net profit interest. Having said that, we also get the first $1.5 million that the municipality would get. So in fact, what we'll get is 13% NPI up to the first $1.5 million, and then we'll go down to 5%.
And that $1.5 million will obviously go a long way, given what you've told us about Elodo. I know you can't give specifics, but I figure Sunriver Gold, if they've already paid you $500,000, plus sounds like they're paying you some other money here for missing this deadline, and if they raise $6.5 million in order to initiate the reprocessing, you guys must be feeling pretty comfortable with that group going forward, that they're going to be able to have some success. I know you can't really say specific because that tailings reprocessing plant isn't 43101, but you guys feel pretty confident that you guys are going to be able to benefit from that.
Yeah, they've convinced investors to give them $6.5 million. So obviously the profit they're expecting has got to be at least double of that, I would guess. And not being 43101 compliant on a cash flow analysis here, but yes, of course. And a lot higher than that is what they're hoping. Yeah.
So let's move to the other satellites. You've got 3 gold and silver projects that we said were near surface exploration potential, near-term production potential. You got the Eldorado Gold Silver Project, you've got the Coquila Gold Project, and you've got the SDA plant. Run us through an order of priority, which one of those are furthest ahead right now and be able to contribute to the cause.
Yeah, let me explain it to you. So the owners of the SDA plant approached us, and with Matthew Melnick, he used to work for Vein Minerals that had that plant. And they were actually, Vein Minerals cash flow was up to $2.8 million a year historically, with gold from $967 to $1,670 an ounce.
Okay.
So the idea was, let's acquire the SDA plant, then let's look for properties around it that are past producers that have high grade near surface that we could easily get into production and feed the plant. And the first one of those is Eldorado. And we're working on drill permits. Not that we have to do a lot of drilling to prove it up. We just need to do a little bit of drilling to figure out where to go, how to get at the best high grade first. And we're almost permitted for drilling on that. First drilling would be about 2,000 meters, I think is enough. And then Kokula is a separate opportunity. Again, that Matthew Melnick, our director and operations manager, knew about from working for Agnico Eagle in the area. Kokula is a independent leach opportunity, and Timmins had it and drilled it off, and they have found some ounces. Again, not 43-101, but we know there's a lot of gold there, and would make a great leaching operation. So standalone is Kokula, and then El Dorado fits with the SDA plant. And we're in discussions with other property owners that, again, Matt knew about, and digging up some other opportunities to feed the SDA plant.
Yeah, and I was about to ask you that. What do other opportunities look like outside of your own self-generating, which is great. I love the strategy. You got the plant, you got El Dorado, you got Kokula, but is there good potential for other projects that may be able to feed that plant, that mill?
Yeah, we're in discussions for 3 or 4 others, and 2 we've actually targeted and have terms that we've proposed to the owners, and waiting for certain things to happen. But definitely know where to go to find the gold yet to feed that plant, and silver.
So how are you feeling? I mean, it sounds like everything's going as well as can be expected. Obviously, both you, your team, shareholders would love to see things moving faster. We all would. We say that about everything we do, right? In today's new world. But is it safe to say you guys feel really happy about the progress you're making?
We feel great about our assets. We would like to be moving faster, but a lot of that is permitting due to COVID issues. So what can you do about that? But the assets are very solid, and that's what I base my my whole business operation on.
You've not only got diversification in Mexico, but you've also got diversification in the company, because you've got a project in Newfoundland, which now seems to be just a great place to be. Bring us up to speed. What do you have there? What's the status now?
Yes. So we've always like to be diversified. As you know, when we started the original Candente Resource Corp, we started in Peru with the idea of going other places. We actually went to Newfoundland first, and then we went to Mexico, and then we spun out. So recently, Newfoundland has become an amazing area, mine-finding area, where resources are really being developed in several different zones. And so somebody came to us with an opportunity of the Victoria property, which is right next door to Marathon's Valentine Lake, over 3 million ounce reserve and another million inferred at this point. And we're along the same trend as them, structural trend that controls a lot of the gold. So somebody came to us with this opportunity, and we discussed it amongst us, and just decided that we couldn't pass it up. So there was a bit of a payment at first, $25,000, but they already had gold, really interesting gold numbers in till samples, and a little bit, well, we didn't know at the time, but we discovered on our DD and after we acquired it, already in bedrock. And so we just finished our first phase exploration, found a lot more outcrop than we expected, and we believe a lot more, visible mineralization. We don't have the assays back from the lab yet, but it looks like a very, very interesting property. It's well located. Besides Marathon, there's other people to the southwest of us, True Gold, that are drilling some very interesting targets. And then anyways, we're basically surrounded by people that are busy drilling.
It's good to be in a good neighborhood.
Exactly. So, and we're explorationists, so why not?
So what are next steps for Victoria?
Well, let's see how our assays come back, and put that together with the geophysical targets that we have, and maybe we could have a drill program ready for some flow-through funding for the winter.
Yeah, and I would presume, again, we're putting the cart before the horse, but there'd probably be it probably wouldn't be hard as long as the results came back as expected. It probably wouldn't be hard to get some good flow-through financing in order to drill there, right? Because it is such a great neighborhood in a hot region.
Yeah, exactly. And November is generally a good time for raising flow through. So
yeah, your timing couldn't be better there. Last word to you. The price of precious metals today. You mentioned earlier that the plant did very, very well. historically with gold between 900 and they call 950 and 1650 for the plant. For your project makeup in general, current silver and gold prices, because we hear some companies say, gold's going to $5,000 because of this and that, but gold and silver seem to have stabilized here. Are these prices that you could work with? Do they present any sort of challenge, or are they very comfortable within your ranges?
No, remember, I've been in the business since 1981. And
You don't look it, that's for sure.
gold had just gone from, actually, I was in the coal business or coal exploration, and gold had just gone from $300 to $800 an ounce, and I got offered a very good job in gold exploration. And my answer was, wow, it sounds like a fantastic opportunity. Thank you for the offer, but I don't know anything about gold exploration. And the fellow offering me the job said, you're a geologist, you've recently graduated, you know how to use your brain. Gold's gone from $300 to $800 an ounce. You'll figure it out pretty fast. And so I got into gold exploration. But my point is, metal prices fluctuate. We know that as our core business. So you've got to look at the long-term prices that you're comfortable with. When we started looking at the tailings opportunity, we were using $1,200 gold.
That's great.
Or to present to the municipality of El Oro and convince them to option it to us, showing them that basically above $1,200 gold, we thought it should be able to make money. So no, we're not using $1,800 gold in our financial analyses anywhere, and we're not using over $4 copper, nor in other things we're doing.
Or nor silver prices over $35, $40 or something like that. No, but that's I want to bring that up because I'm sure it must be on the minds of shareholders and even potential who are looking at Zali, right? And potential investors looking at Zali saying where you need to be at to just be economic. So if you're using 1,200 for the plant, I think that's fantastic. Last word to you, Joanne. What do you want to tell your shareholders about what's coming up for the rest of the year and into the beginning of 2022, where hopefully we're going to have a PDAC. We'll all be able to see each other in person.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, we have a private placement open right now. So if anybody's interested, give us a call. 6 cents a share, which we've been trading as high as 8 in the recent weeks gone by. And half warrant at 12 cents. So we're raising about $500,000 on that. And that's so we can get the SDA plant up and running and finish off all our drill permits and drill targeting for El Oro and for El Dorado and acquiring those other projects that we want to. And expecting to start getting some cash flow in the new year. If not by the end of March, then certainly before the end of June.
Cash flow sounds great. Can't wait to see those days come. But before that, I'm sure we're gonna have you back, Joanne, because there's so much going on out there and looking for those assays to come back. So until then, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks very much, George.
For everybody home, you've been watching or you've been listening by podcast to Joanne Freeze, President and CEO of Zali Gold, trades on the Venture Exchange under the stock symbol XGC. For those new to the story, the way to do your due diligence, quite simply, 2-step process. 1, get to the company's profile page on Agoracom, because as you can see, there are a lot of moving parts here, but the way they're integrated is just fantastic and real genius. But and you've heard us talking about it here today, but we've got it neatly laid out for you to understand. And then from there, for those of you who want to do the deeper dive, due diligence, right into the geology, right into all the results, of course, then link over to Zali's website, do your deep dive. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great. Hey guys, this video is over, but don't forget to help your company by liking it and even leaving a comment below. And then don't forget to help yourself by subscribing to our channel and never missing another great Agoracom small cap video.